Almost 7 years ago, we sold everything we owned, quit our jobs, and started traveling full time. We've explored almost every state, several countries, and we've even hopped on a few cruises. Traveling through all these small towns and big cities in our country and across the pond has been such an amazing experience. It's also allowed us to meet so many people from all walks of life, people we never would have met sitting in our sticks and bricks. We absolutely love this life and hope we can keep traveling for many years to come. Although Instagram and YouTube can make you believe full time travel is nothing but sunshines and rainbows, there are definitely some downsides to this crazy life. I really thought when I walked away from my job and we hit the road and I had this life of freedom that it would be so much easier for me to incorporate a healthy lifestyle and to really prioritize healthy eating and exercise. And oh my gosh, was I so wrong. When you travel full time, you're faced with things that you don't face day to day while living in a house, like today. Today is a travel day. Yesterday we had a 500-mile travel day, and today we have about another 3 to 4 hours to go until we reach our next location. And let me tell you, travel days can really wreck you if you're trying to be healthy. If I don't have food already prepared for us before a travel day, we end up eating at gas stations and fast food and really crappy stuff. And it's really difficult after a 12-hour travel day or all day in the airport to want to go home and exercise. Being a nomad also means no schedule or no routine. And while that sounds really fun and glamorous, when you're trying to stick to a healthy exercise schedule and a healthy eating, it is really hard to be consistent when there is no consistency. Our schedule is based on what's going on at the time and our location. It isn't based on a day-to-day schedule like you have in a normal sticks and bricks. So I gotta tell you, being consistent with exercise is much harder when you're inconsistent with everything. And can we talk about the gym? Okay, there isn't one, and that is the problem. You lose the routine of going to a familiar gym and getting in the habit of going through the same motions. But that doesn't say you can't catch one at a hotel or even on a cruise ship, because we've used all of those before. So unlike having a sticks and bricks where you have the routine and comfort of a home gym, now you use what you have, where you are. Even the way you run changes when you're a nomad. Before we hit the road, I would run with all of my friends. It was very social. I had someone to keep me accountable and help keep me motivated, so it made it a lot of fun instead of a lot of work. Now that we're on the road, it is much more difficult. I have to worry about my safety because I'm new in areas. Some areas don't have a place for me to run. I don't want to get hit by a car because there's nowhere to run on the side of the road. And then sometimes we're in campgrounds where literally it'll take 15 times to hit a mile. And honestly, that would make me crazy. I can't do that. So trying to figure out where I'm going to run and get outdoor cardio has been an issue for me. So let's talk about food on the road. It's absolutely delicious, which is part of the problem. When you travel to new countries, new cities, new towns, you're going to want to try all the local food and drink. And there is some amazing stuff out there, which really is a problem to my waistline. Every time we go somewhere new, we want to dig in and taste everything they have to offer. Let's just say pizza and pasta did not stand a chance when we were in Italy. But you don't have to leave the country to try food from a different culture, like etouffee in Louisiana and some yummy clam chowder in Boston and even lobster rolls in Maine. Everywhere we go, there's different food to experience, which can make it really hard to stay healthy on the road. Medical appointments can be really difficult to navigate as well. When you're always traveling, figuring out when you're going to come back, scheduling those appointments, getting in to see your docs when you're only in town for a short time can be really hard to navigate. But it is something that's really important when you're assessing your overall health. All right, I know what some of you are saying. I hear it already. These are all just lame excuses, and if you wanted it bad enough, you would already be doing it. And you're probably right to a certain extent, but they are also barriers that make it harder for us to achieve our goals. And I really want to work through these barriers and for them not to be a problem anymore. So instead of allowing this life of travel to ruin my health, which is really how I feel right now, I'm going to try and use this nomad lifestyle to help improve my health. So help find ways while we travel to get healthier and stay healthier. So in order for us to continue this life of travel, I'm going to have to look at my health. where am I now and where I need to go in order to continue traveling around the country and the world. All right, let's talk numbers because that's one of the real reasons you guys are here, right? You want to know if I'm going to share every number and every detail. Well, of course I am because I'm not ashamed, I'm not embarrassed. We all have bumps in the road, and this is just one of mine. All right, before I open myself up and tell you all of my secrets, including the number on the scale, I'm going to tell you about today's sponsor, and it's RV Destinations Magazine. If you've been watching our channel for any length of time, you'll know we've talked about RV Destinations Magazine for quite some time now, and it's because we absolutely love it. There is nothing better than getting this magazine in the mail or in your inbox to open it up and get some inspiration for some new RV locations. And let me tell you, the pictures in here really inspire you to add some new locations to your must-see list. RV Destinations Magazine is the perfect way to plan your next RV trip. They have so many wonderful locations in each magazine that you're gonna want to go visit. And now's the perfect time to subscribe because their holiday special is 30% off. You're gonna want to click that link down below in the description box and subscribe today. I'm telling you, you will not regret it. The pictures are beautiful and the destinations, man, you're gonna want to go there. First up, we're gonna talk body composition. And what I mean by that is how much body fat, how much lean mass do I have? And I was able to find out the answer to that by getting what's called a DEXA scan. And it told me exactly what my numbers are. So when you're assessing your health and you're trying to figure out where you are, of course, numbers are the best way to do that. And by numbers, I do not mean the scale. The scale is not the best depiction of how healthy or unhealthy you are. So that is why I decided to do the DEXA scan. And I got to tell you, the results I got from the DEXA scan were pretty scary for me. So my lean body mass is only 57%, and the minimum it should be is 70%. And that means my body fat is well over 40%. And unfortunately, once you hit above 35% in body fat, all of your risk factors start going up. Your risk of diabetes and heart disease and so much more. So it is really important for me to get control of my health and get control of it now. So 10 years from now, I'm still able to live this same lifestyle if we choose to do so. So the most important change I need to make is I need more muscle. I need more lean body mass, and that is really going to keep me functioning. It's going to keep me healthy. It's going to allow me to keep moving around, hiking, biking, whatever I want to do long term. And let's talk about that crappy old scale that we all know and love so much. So when I had my DEXA scan, I was about 143 pounds. Currently, I am 145 pounds, and this is 20 pounds heavier than what I was when we hit the road. And considering all the muscle I've lost, that is a lot of body fat I put on over the last almost 7 years. So I have a lot of work to do to get myself back in optimal physical shape, and I am really determined this year to make it happen. There are plenty of people who travel full time who still manage to keep health and fitness a priority as they travel, and that is something that we have to start doing as well. And in order to do that, there are some big changes that have to happen. All right, let's talk about some ways that we are going to make changes to make health a priority. The first thing we have to do is slow down. We can no longer change locations, go to a new city every 3 to 4 days. Travel days take up so much time, whether we're packing up, moving the RV, unpacking the RV, or hopping on a plane, flying to Europe, hopping on a plane to go on a cruise. It doesn't matter what the travel day consists of, whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles. They really do take a huge chunk of your day to move to a new location. And by the time you get there, you're exhausted. The last thing you want to do is cook an elaborate meal or even exercise. Well, I should say the last thing I want to do. We're going to stay at a location for no less than 7 days, and most locations will probably be much longer than that. The next thing is make an effort to cook more from home. When I cook my own meals, I can control the ingredients. I know exactly what I'm getting, and there's no hidden sneaky things in there bumping up the calories or making it more unhealthy. So by slowing down and taking our time as we travel, it's going to enable me to have more time to cook from home and focus on healthy eating. So another thing we've done so we can get healthy and keep this lifestyle is we have found primary care physicians that do telemedicine. So now we can make appointments whenever we need to and not always have to be worried about going back to San Antonio to do that. Building muscle is my number one goal. I have got to make exercise a priority. Now I do have these bands, which I took to Europe this time. It fit perfectly in my suitcase. I just took a couple bands out and stuffed them in one of my shoes. And between this and my friend's challenge that I joined, I'm telling you, it really did make a difference. And I think without the challenge, I probably would have blown off exercise in Europe altogether. But this at least helped me to do some form of strength exercises. And I did some runs while we're in Normandy and the Channel Islands that really helped out. Now, the challenge kept me motivated, and my friend Chris is starting a new challenge in January. So if you need a little extra motivation and help, she does a great job. Also added some free weights. These free weights are the smallest ones I have ever seen, and you can adjust them to add more weight, take off weight to make them exactly what you need them to be. These discs are 2.5 pounds a piece, and you just add however many you need. I've also invested in a weighted vest, and this vest will make my walks so much harder. So they're great for building muscle, but they also help strengthen bones. So this will help make a simple walk when I don't want to run even harder. And speaking of running, I still do want to incorporate running whenever I can. But as far as cardio goes and that kind of exercise, I would much rather do active, fun play like pickleball, hiking, kayaking, that kind of thing. So whenever we have the opportunity to do that, I am going to be pulling that into our schedule. So as a nomad, I can't count on a gym. I have to use what I have, where I am, and I have to figure out how to make it work. Needless to say, it's not ideal, but it should be doable. I would love for you to join us on this journey to getting healthier and staying healthy so we can continue this life of travel. Throughout the year, I'm going to give updates to our progress, not just here on YouTube, but also on Instagram and Facebook. I'm going to share wins, losses, what is working, what's not working, and the repeat DEXA scan once I get that done. So I would love for you to join me on this journey to health and fitness. And I would love to hear your struggles, your joys, what worked for you, what didn't work for you down in the comments. So it is going to be a struggle for me. There are a lot of changes that we have to make moving forward, but it's something that's important. And as we get older, even more important. So thanks for hanging out with me and listen to me chatter on. And hopefully one day I'll see you a little healthier somewhere on the road.